Peter, moving on to cybersecurity, another 3.9 million Australians are at risk of having their personal information stolen. Australia's largest private health insurer, Medibank, they were contacted by a group of hackers threatening to leak the data online and demanding a ransom. It comes off the back of what happened with Optus. We saw leading Queensland trainer Rob Heathcote hacked for $100,000 only just last month. Claire O'Neill has warned the Home Affairs Minister that we're going to be under relentless cyber attacks from here on in. And this is particularly damaging because this is people's health. This is their medical records. You know, you're a former Home Affairs Minister. Is this a real and present threat in society right now?
Peter, there's no doubt about that. You know, all of us complain about our kids living their lives on devices and phones and iPads, etc. But the reality is that most adults do now as well. You do your internet banking, tap and go at the coffee shop or at a restaurant. All of your personal data is on there, and you need to make sure that, you know, there's a level of personal responsibility that's really important here as well. So if you get a software upgrade, make sure that you install it straight away, because that can clear out some of the threats that might be present on your phone. Your phone becomes more vulnerable, and the whole idea of the upgrades, the patches, is to try and put in place an extra layer of protection and fight against those vulnerabilities that the companies have discovered. So firstly, do that. Make sure that you regularly upgrade and update your passwords, not simple, you know, easily understood passwords. Search online about some of the methods that you can use. You know, don't click on links, all of that basic stuff. But one of the things that I've been really worried about, particularly with the Optus breach and also with what we've seen with Medibank now, is just the lack of timeliness. Claire O'Neill took days and days to get out on the Optus breach, and it's been the same in relation to Medibank now. And time is of the essence. People need to know that potentially their data has been breached, so that they can take corrective action and protect themselves. And that hasn't happened because it seemed that there was some internal fight between Mark Dreyfus and Claire O'Neill. But I just think people need to take extra precautions, because this is going to be an increasing reality for us.
And just quickly, this embarrassing diplomatic bungle by the Albanese government this week, the reversing of the policy recognising West Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Albanese's now conceded it could have been handled better. That's got to be the understatement of the year, hasn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, this is, you know, the biggest diplomatic bungle that Labor's had since probably Sam Dastyari, maybe before that. And when you've got the Israeli Prime Minister coming out criticising our Prime Minister, our country, and when you've got a Prime Minister that's being praised by terrorist groups for making the right decision, you know that it's been a stuff up. And I think we should call it out for what it is. I mean, Penny Wong wants to believe that she's the greatest foreign minister since, you know, Henry Kissinger, but the fact is that she's not. And I think Labor has demonstrated a real vulnerability here. It shows the divide within the cabinet. I think this is a really important point, Peter. I think there is a real left-right divide within the Labor cabinet at the moment. You're seeing Jim Chalmers position himself against Anthony Albanese on tax cuts. You're seeing this fight between Claire O'Neill and between Mark Dreyfus. And you're now seeing Penny Wong go in there with a hard left view in relation to Israel. Don't forget that Tanya Plibersek questioned you know, the very legitimacy of Israel, said that they were a rogue nation. So damaging our international relations, particularly with Israel, is not in our country's best interests. And for the Jewish community here in Australia, they are rightly offended and upset by the decision that Labor took, because they lied about it. It was deceptive, and it was another broken promise. And I think that's what's really shaken people the most.
Opposition Leader Peter Dutton, great to see you tonight.
Thanks, Peter. Pleasure, mate. Thank you.